Hey everybody, my name is Manny Martinez, host of the Business Growth Strategies podcast, where we offer an in-depth look at the overall web presence of every kind of business you can think of, paired with our ProfitPaths methodology to show you how to grow your business today. If you like the idea of growth in your business, make sure you like, subscribe, leave us a review, and download these podcast episodes available on every major platform. In today's episode, I sit down with Dave Conklin and Kyle Porter to review Peachtree, a kidney, hypertension, and diabetes treatment center where owner Dr. Leonard Gyebi is looking to expand his reach via his online presence. So sit back, listen in, and we hope you enjoy the episode.
Welcome to the Business Growth Strategies podcast. For over 20 years, our team has been utilizing digital marketing tactics to help businesses generate more leads, close more sales, increase customer retention, and make their team more efficient. We're excited to share what we've learned and help you grow your business.
So we're going to dig into Peachtree, kidney hypertension and diabetes treatment. So Kyle, do you have information? Do you have a website pulled up or anything that you can share with us?
I do, yeah.
Awesome.
So got in contact with this person. He is Dr. Leonard Gyebi, and I'm actually going to be going and meeting with him tomorrow. So it's pretty exciting that we're
He
going
looks
through
nice.
This. Yeah, looks like a great guy. So he's here in Atlanta. He has a kidney hypertension diabetes treatment facility, which he wants to position. Right now, it's sort of positioned as a doctor's office, right? It's kind of your run-of-the-mill doctor's office.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing really about the website that, jumps out at you. And, it looks pretty standard as far as physicians' websites go. But he is looking at a couple of other companies. One is called Kidney Spa, and they are down in Miami. And the other one is called Dialysis Spa. So he is looking to go more in sort of the resort spa therapeutic, take a trip to the dialysis doctor and cut loose and hang out and have fun. Which is, for a lot of these people who are going through dialysis, which I did a little bit of research on as well, this is a regular, if not daily, occurrence that they're going to get dialysis treatment.
So Pete Vargas, who runs a company called Advance Your Reach, and I didn't even realize we were talking about this today, Kyle, just to be clear, but
sure.
It's unbelievable how important what you just pulled up is, because Pete Vargas's wife dealt with this, and there's a company, DaVita. Did they come up? Okay. So he was at a hotel with his wife one day. He tells the story. It's an amazing story from stage. And he was at this, he went through years of this dialysis stuff with his wife, and they like to travel. They had to travel. And everywhere he would go, every area in the country, there happened to be a DaVita that she could go and get this treatment
it's a nationwide brand.
Yeah. But they couldn't do stuff because she had to do this every day.
It takes hours.
So he's at this event where, and he notices that DaVita I might be saying that wrong, by the way. They're having an event, and he walks in and goes up to the person at the soundboard, and he's like, I gotta get up and tell these people how amazing what they do is. As a personal, I just have to get up in front of them. And he talks to somebody else. And so Pete Vargas ends up going up on stage. It was unplanned. This whole thing was random, kind of like what I'm doing right now. And he walks up in front and gets on stage and tells this group of employees of DaVita how amazing what they do every day is. Wow. And tells this story about how as he travels around the country, he could not have spent any time with his wife or his kids if DaVita didn't exist in these markets. So, dude, what you're telling me, I have chills right now, Kyle. This is amazing what this guy's doing.
Yeah, it's a really big deal. So, and I'm sure that he probably has people that are in his office every single day. I'm sure there's a little community of people who, show up for the 11 o'clock shift or what, there's probably a lot of kind of underlying stories there that are, that are probably really powerful. So I think this website though does nothing to me to communicate the type of treatment that people are going to necessarily be receiving, particularly if they are visiting his facility on a daily basis in order to receive dialysis treatment.
You said he wants to try to make, or at least the thought of dialysis treatment, a little bit more lighthearted and.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I would go so as far as to say like fun, but the idea basically is that, if you've got to go through a process like this where you're going daily for somebody, because the process of dialysis is basically a doctor doing what your kidneys should be doing but can't be doing, right? And your kidneys are a massive filter in your body, so they flush out all the toxins, and blood pumps through your kidney and then goes back in and it's cleaned out. So if that's not something that's done on a daily basis, you can't just like skip a day, or there's some real consequences. So I think that the idea here is that we're taking the dialysis experience and and making it something that, like, I think the messaging on this site, which is one that he sent to me as a comparison, is great. It's, it's about restoring quality of life. It's about, it's about more than improving health. It's more than just one aspect of your treatment. We want 5-star facilities, provide you with every luxury, no-show rate. I mean, because at the end of the day, if he's a kidney doctor, then he is to some degree, judged by his ability to improve quality of life or, duration of life for his patients. Right. So things like no-show rate, those things matter. If people are having a negative experience at this facility, then they're going to go, like, I know how important it is, but I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna miss today. I'll stay home. I'm comfortable in my chair. So if he can create an experience or communicate an experience, maybe he's already created the experience, but communicate an experience through his website where, he can eliminate his no-show rate, increase his transplant rate and lower his hospital admissions. Those are the things that he's sort of measuring himself by. So I think it's great that he's got kind of these examples as like here's the message, here's the example that I'm going for. And I don't know whether he means from a messaging standpoint or from a user interface, user experience standpoint. But
so can you give me some clarity here, Kyle? Is he wanting to create the hangout spa experience that I'm seeing right now for people that are on dialysis?
Well, I think that's kind of how he wants to position his office. Yeah. And so when he reached out to us, he said, I need a new website. And he's not wrong, so here's this website. Mm-hmm, so, it basically says, here's all the things that we do, but there's nothing on this website that tells me anything other than I'm going to hang out with this guy and I'm going to be in a big city.
Yeah.
So what we need to communicate is this experience is going to be one where you feel pampered, you feel catered to, you feel attended to, you feel understood, you feel heard. We know what's going on in your life. We appreciate it. We, like all those sorts of things, because we have these clinical objectives of reducing our no-show rate and increasing our transplant rate and increasing or decreasing our hospitalization rate. And,
Well, and I'll say too, so this is kind of embarrassing, but I actually flew from Lancaster, Pennsylvania on the East Coast to San Francisco, California to have fillings put in.
Did you? Okay.
Wow. Because I have a friend who is a dentist. She does celebrity stuff. Her name's Sheila Gyebi. I don't know if that doesn't matter, but anyway. So she does the laser stuff.
Okay.
So I'm afraid of Novocaine, like terrified of a needle in my mouth. Call me a puss, whatever. Wuss. Call me a wuss.
we said worse.
So, but I like have an issue with needles in my mouth. So my point is, we tried to do a campaign for her for Invisalign and some cosmetic stuff. And the no-show rate on our campaign was her only concern. So I think it's deeper, probably from a business perspective. I love that they're talking about the fact that they don't have a large no-show rate to speak to the person receiving dialysis. But that's incredibly important to the doctor as well, because she told me that when they schedule an appointment, she has 3 people in her office that make good salaries blocked off, plus her. So there's 4 people blocked off in her office when that client appointment is set.
Wow.
And if they don't show up, those people literally sit on their duffs for that hour when they would have been with that client. So it's a huge deal from a business perspective as well.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah.
So let's start digging into the homepage. What are your recommendations here?
Well, I think that first of all, the sort of classic sort of feedback on any given website is if I am the patient, I don't necessarily want to open up the website to Peachtree Kidney and Hypertension Specialists and see my doctor there. I want to open it up and I want to see myself there, and I want to see myself as I will be once I have engaged with Peachtree Kidney and Hypertension Specialists.
100%.
That's good.
I want to see my doctor. I want there to be a page where I can go and learn more about my doctor. And but like when I open up this page, the whole premise of like aspirational identity and like who do I become by going to this place versus all the other dialysis places that I could go to, because I mean there's tons and tons and tons of them. So why am I going to go to Peachtree when I could go to a million other different places? So they've got to communicate that, like what are you going to be getting with us? And the other thing that I don't see when I open up this site is I don't see what I need to do if I'm the patient in order to get started, right? So when I open this up, I go, look, I know what you do, your kidney and your hypertension, your diabetes treatment. I know who you are, but I don't know what the benefit is for me, especially when I look at like attaining wellness, inspiring people to live healthier lifestyles. Like I always talk about, and maybe I haven't even talked about this on the podcast yet, but I always talk about like 3 a.m. problems. Like what's a problem that if you're laying in bed at 3 a.m., eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling, what's the 3 a.m. problem that's keeping you awake, right? And nobody's awake at 3 a.m. going, I really just wish I could attain wellness. Like I'm really not attaining wellness. Like there's a problem. There's something that's keeping them up, and we've got to address that in that, this first interaction.
That's good.
So I need to see how it makes my life better, and I need to see what I need to do to get started. So it should be a book an appointment. It should be schedule your first treatment. It should be something that leads me to a concrete, decisive action I can take.
Yeah.
Dave, any other thoughts?
No, I'm 100% on with you there. I think that if you even look at the Conklin website, all the pink buttons point to schedule a talk.
Yep.
I think we call it a growth strategy session or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I scroll down and I kind of go, all right, here's all these different things. How many of these things? Now, granted, people are coming in and it's a life or death kind of situation, so they're going to read the bullet points. But when we've just got and as we scroll down this site, what we've essentially got from like here down to here is a wall of text. There's nothing for me visually that breaks this up and kind of lets me bounce from here to here to here to here and read little snippets at a time. So it's like, here's all our kidney services. Here's all our vascular services. Here's more stuff about our services. Here's a big, gigantic block about the doctor and where he went to college and, what else he's done. And he also founded a charity, and here's our mission and here's our vision. The person that this website has not talked about yet is me, right? This website has not said a single word about me yet. It's basically like, here's all the things we do. Here's all the things we are. Here's all the information that we have, but there's nothing that goes like, hey, how are you? Like you're in the right place. So that's what I need from a messaging standpoint. And we can get into the the technical stuff, because the fact of the matter is this is a local business. It is. I mean, it's a medical practice, but it's business. So it's a local business. So there's not some big mystery as far as how we market a local business. We're looking for the generic non-branded keyword terms that people are going to be looking for. We're not just going to target people, but we are going to retarget people. We're not going to do a lot of interruption based stuff. I'm not just going to, cast a line out for people who need dialysis. I'm going to capture people who are looking for dialysis, and then I'm going to reel them back in if they decide to leave. So we need to set up paid search. We need to set up have some SEO initiatives. We need to have some retargeting initiatives. We need to have some lead collection mechanism where I can follow up with people with all of this valuable information that they have. And it's not just like, hey, come in and get your kidneys pumped out. We need to be able to collect leads and then follow up with those leads effectively. So yeah, I think there's a lot of potential here. There's work to be done for sure.
I love what I'm seeing behind him through the window there. Like that's what I would love to see more of.
Yeah.
That speaks wellness to me.
Yeah. That sort of garden, like, I don't know. I feel like anytime somebody's in a medical crisis or a medical, having a medical issue, they want to, they're tense. They want to breathe, they want to be able to just kind of exhale a little bit. And if he gives them the opportunity to be able to do that, then I think it's a great start.
Absolutely.
So I'm sharing my screen. I want to show you. Is this able to be seen?
Already done.
Sweet. So I threw into Ad Library it's new, the Meta Ad Library. And this is interesting. So everything in here related to dialysis is related to Congress supporting some kind of dialysis care. Now, don't get me wrong, this is going back years. But I would want to know from him, I'm so sorry. Kyle, what is his name again? Dr.
Leonard Gyebi, Gyebi.
Gyebi. Okay. I might have said that wrong, and I'm sorry if I did. But I would want to understand what's happening here. Like, why is it so important? Like, there's a ton of ads. So something was happening with a bill in government.
Well, a lot of them are coming from that dialysis is life support page.
Yeah. But there wouldn't be. I've never seen this. I've never seen anything like this before, where you had so many people.
And it all, even from
it's all related to some kind of act that was trying to be, passed. Because my point is, if you're a dialysis patient and Facebook knows that, like, these are the ads that you're seeing.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I would think that there could be some opportunity to link into that from his brand.
Is he not doing anything with paid right now?
So,
Kyle.
No, I don't believe so, but that's what we're going to take a look at.
Awesome.
So I've already pulled up the some SEO keywords, but both of the examples that he used, both kidneyspa.com and dialyspa.com, if I look in SpyFu at their overview, they're 100% organic traffic. They aren't running any PPC. Same thing here for Dialyspa.
I don't have your screen, FYI.
Oh, sorry.
Didn't know if you wanted it or not, but we don't have that.
No, it's okay.
Yep.
So when I look at the domain overview, I'll get to the organic keywords in just a second. But this Dialyspa company, which is a great looking website, but they are not doing anything on PPC. They are ranking for some non-branded keywords, which seem relevant. Some of them are not relevant. They rank number 9 for arugula salad, which doesn't really matter. But
that's pretty awesome, though. They could probably get some kind of a business deal with SaladWorks.
Yeah, probably. Yep. But they do rank number 1 for private dialysis centers, which is great. Dialysis Spa, Dialysis Near Me, Houston Dialysis. So there's a lot of, obviously they're based out of Houston, but there's a lot of relevant keywords here that they rank for. If I go into SEMrush, then one of the things that I'm going to start looking at is I'll start looking at Dialysis Atlanta.
Is there a way to check on the history of PPC on a company?
That's interesting.
Like full history?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what SpyFu does.
Mm-hmm.
We can do that.
Because that's Dave, that's what you preach, is paid in order to run organic, right?
100%. Yep. So we're gonna look.
We're in Malaysia. That's why.
Malaysia.
Have you noticed have you noticed SEMrush starting to do this? It just randomizes your country when you first sign in.
Do you have any security or privacy on your router level?
Possibly.
So if you have any kind of a VPN to protect your stuff, it will route you through stuff sometimes so that you're not hacked.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. So dialysis centers in Atlanta. And then we can look at related keywords here. Start to see there's search volume for DaVita specifically for Atlanta Kidney Care Center of Georgia. So, Kidney Care Center of Georgia has some pretty significant search volume. Best dialysis center near me.
Can I jump into something real quick here?
Yeah, please do.
So I'm gonna disclaim, because this is a legal. What I'm about to share is like a legal thing. Mm-hmm. We are not attorneys in any way, shape, or form. We do not give legal advice in any way. What I'm sharing is only my experiences based on communications with attorneys in the past. So I'm not saying this will prevent you from getting sued or not get you sued or anything. But DaVita, I imagine, is the number one search for someone who is exploring the idea. Like, I just found out, oh crap, I'm going to have to do this dialysis thing. Mm-hmm. So I know DaVita
dialysis near me has 2,900 searches.
There you go. Wow. So here is the legalities. You can bid on a term like DaVita, which I assume is trademarked. Mm-hmm. You can bid on that term. You cannot have that term in your ad text. So this doctor could easily, wherever he is, bid on that the DaVita term in his geographical area legally and have ads come up. What he cannot do is put DaVita in his ad text or mention it on his page without referencing the trademark. Super Bowl. We're in Super Bowl season right now. Maybe not when you're listening to this, but right now I think it's 2 weeks away, 1 week away.
Week.
I don't even know.
Yeah, half a week.
Yeah, it's
a couple days.
3 days.
Right. What?
Yeah. 3 days, man.
Sunday.
This Sunday.
It's this Sunday?
It's this Sunday.
I thought we were. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so we leave Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm having a Super Bowl party apparently in my house this weekend.
Oh.
I didn't realize that.
Nice.
I thought it was next weekend. Anyway, so it's how into football I am. I can't wait. We call it the Ad Bowl at my house, by the way. Like, everyone that comes, you're not allowed to watch the game. You can only watch the ads and the halftime show.
That's great.
And you get a bingo card that you pay to have. And then whoever gets the bingo on which ads, like which advertisers placed, gets the money.
That's awesome.
It's a great time. Anyway, so Super Bowl will not allow you to say Super Bowl in anything on any web. They'll sue you. Like they radio. If you ever listen to like radio programs, yes, they'll say big game. It's so because they have that sucker so locked down, and they sue like crazy.
They're tenacious. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
So meanwhile, Pepsi, Coke, whatever, they're excited when people mention their name.
Yeah.
Right. So they don't file the suits, but they could. Okay. Here's the bottom line. When you have a brand that's competing with you, that's huge and almost in any industry in the world. So we've got like Hawk Media. So Hawk Media is I don't even know how big they are, but they're huge. They do what we do. They're a boutique agency, and they're big, like really, really big from my understanding. I could buy the phrase Hawk Media on Google. I can't put Hawk Media in my ad text. I can't mention them on the page, but I can get attention and bring them in.
Sure.
So,
and if you really wanted to kind of like, I don't even know that it's towing the line because I feel like it's safe. But if you wanted to say something like, so say if you're, Peachtree Kidney and you decide to bid on DaVita dialysis in the Atlanta area, and your ad text says, instead try Peachtree Kidney. Because if somebody's searching for DaVita dialysis,
100%.
they're searching for a brand. If you can respond to them and kind of go like, hey, I know what you're looking for, but have you considered this? Then like, you're totally good, because you never acknowledged, you never said, obviously there's some nuance to how you have to set up those campaigns, because otherwise people are searching for, dialysis near me, and you're saying instead, try Peachtree Kidney, so you've got to be really, not really, but you've got to be fairly rigorous about how you set the
Yeah,
campaign.
you got to think about it. You have to put some thought into it for sure. But the other benefit to it, by the way, is brands tend to have a much lower cost per click than the thing. Like, best online e-commerce stores, that's a horrible example.
Is that because people don't want to go for it? Like why
no,
wouldn't...
it's because less people focus on brand from a
because
search.
they don't feel like they can
supply and
compete?
demand. No, it's supply and demand. There's more people searching for dialysis than there are DaVita.
Gotcha.
But the let's say there's 4 times as many people typing in dialysis than typing in DaVita, right? But let's say the CPC cost is 10 times less. So the multiple of 4 times versus 10 times benefits you from a click angle. And anyone typing in, for example, Conklin Media, someone searching for like, is Conklin Media any good? That person is considering hiring Conklin Media. So if our competitor down the road buys the phrase, is Conklin Media any good, for example,
and their ad text says, nope, try such and such.
and you can do that. You can do that exact thing that Kyle just referenced. That's brilliant, by the way. That's a brilliant. But you can do that with any brand is my point. I just wanted to throw it out there because it came up that you can buy because this is probably the second or third most popular question that I get when I speak at CEO events is about this whole trademark issue, because a lot of them have tried to buy the competitor company name before, or they're seeing, when I pull their crap up on a screen, they're seeing their name being bought by their competitors, and it's pissing them off. But I always say, like, it's not, there's no trademark issue. Somebody's searching for something. They and I go through the whole exercise that I just did. I don't want to say it all again, but yeah.
Which I can't wait to watch.
What?
Your
Oh yeah.
event.
Manny's going up with me to Maine next week. Yeah, that'll be fun.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I still think Kyle should fly up.
I think so too.
I'm planning to surprise you guys. I'm going to jump out of a cake.
Can't wait.
Okay.
I can't wait to have a lobster roll in Maine.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
So we look at dialysis, and the website I feel like is fairly straightforward, but what we've got to do, I feel like, is look at the way that people position the thing that they're looking for. We make sure that, and Dave, I feel like one place that we haven't really gone, because this is the first like local business that we've really talked about. How would we set up when it comes to like SEO on a local basis using things like Google My Business, local listings, reviews, all those sorts of things in order to, because what we're talking about right now, what we've been talking about is paid campaigns. We're turning on a traffic machine. We are going to throw money at the Google machine, and they're going to put people on our website. Right now, if you're familiar with the system that we build, you know that at Conklin, we would never drive traffic to the site that guy has right now, that this doctor has right now, right? The site doesn't convert effectively enough, doesn't have a way to convert effectively enough in order for it to make sense to drive traffic there. So that's why we've got to build out the infrastructure first. We've got to build the site. We've got to make sure we can actively collect leads, that we're successfully following up with those people. We've got a conversion machine before we get a traffic machine, right? But what we've been talking about is essentially renting traffic. So we're going to throw money at Google. They're going to put eyeballs on our website. So how do we start to own that same traffic if I want to be the go-to dialysis provider? Let's even specify a little bit. It sounds like if I want to be the go-to high-end, sort of like spa treatment dialysis provider in Atlanta.
So my first question is, are there multiple cities, or is Atlanta it? Because there's two separate strategies.
He is in Midtown Atlanta.
That's all he cares about.
Yep.
Okay.
Now I'm sure there are people coming from, kind of the outskirts. So let's say Atlanta, but
are they typing Atlanta?
Yes.
That's the important thing. Okay.
Yep.
So they're not
in Alpharetta. They're not.
Okay. Thank you. So, they're typing Atlanta. So I would use the homepage then, because it's the most authoritative page. And here's what I would do. I would make sure that you have your literal address on the footer of that homepage, and that you are including Atlanta. If your address is Atlanta, and you are including Atlanta within your text on your page, in addition to our Power Page methodology, which was trademarked as well as ProfitPaths. But so you're building out a ton of content related to dialysis Atlanta. I would actually type dialysis Atlanta into SEMrush. And I would make sure that we're creating a Power Page on your homepage directly to that. The second thing is, I would make sure that you have a Google Map listing that's been has authority and all that. And the way that you get authority is by creating it, getting Google to send you the postcard. You enter the information in. There's a whole process behind that we can help with. But it's easy. Google tells you don't need us to help you with it if you have the time to do it. So that would be the second thing. So number one is the content on the page needs to say what city. It needs to talk about people in Atlanta. It needs to look like people in Atlanta. If you Google SEO Lancaster, PA, you're going to find our site. And we have a page. Now, for us, we don't care just about Lancaster, to be honest. Lancaster's where we're at, by the way. We don't even care about Lancaster, to be frank. I would love to have a great client, but our clients are so specific that there's not a whole lot of them in Lancaster.
Right.
We kind of have to go nationwide to find those really specific clients we love to work with. But so, and this guy, actually, this doctor is a good example, Kyle. He's somebody that we can help, but he's not sitting here in Lancaster, PA. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So the third thing would be, once you have your content on your page, you have a Google Map listing that's has authority. The next thing I would go after is reviews, which we help with as well. Any past clients that can give reviews, people that give negative reviews, if the negative review does not adhere to the Google or Facebook site terms and conditions, we can get it removed. Which is
most
awesome.
Most negative reviews do not comply, because there's specific rules. If most people don't know this, if you're leaving a negative review for a company, you have to speak to your individual experience with them. You cannot pass sweeping value judgments on them as a company. So if you started off, let's say I'm about to move into a different house. So let's say that my moving company showed up and they were 3 hours late, and the guys smelled like alcohol, and they just they dropped all my stuff and whatever. And I started off my Google review with worst moving company ever. Google will take it down.
Yep.
I need to be that's what
they won't take it down though unless somebody tells points it out. Yeah, to be clear. But they will, yeah.
So, and most people, if they're in the headspace of leaving a negative review, they're not also in the headspace of, I'm going to be as thoughtful and precise with this review as I can.
Well, and sure. Kyle, what's so interesting about that is, we've had past employees, and any business owner knows how this works. We've had past employees leave negative reviews about us, or vendors, people we paid as a vendor, and then they would pose as a client and be like, you can get such better value by this company and this company than you can. We've had it happen again and again. What's crazy is the reviews that I think should be removed don't get removed. The reviews that I wish would get removed, but I don't think can, are the ones that get removed. It's bizarre. Anyway, so yes, Kyle's point is straight on. So, here's the kicker though. This is the final mule kick in the head that will get you at the top locally. Local links like Chamber of Commerce. So Greater Atlanta Chamber of Commerce. Get a link from that site to your dialysis site. Boom. AtlantaBusinessDirectory.com. I have no idea if that's a thing or not. Whatever, any Atlanta focused, if you Google businesses Atlanta, Georgia, and hit enter, and you grab the first 1,000, that's 10 pages. No, that's 100 pages of Google. Mm-hmm. Yep. like those are the sites you want to have links to your site from, and that will immediately increase your local presence. You can also do microsites. So, Kyle, he could create an atlantadialysis.com site, microsite, and use his address with a different suite number and a Unitel voice number that's $10 a month. Wow. Like, and literally create a secondary listing as well. And because it has Atlanta in the domain name, the ranking would be there almost immediately. So that's my feedback on that.
And we're using that microsite as a landing page?
Yeah.
What about if there were a local, to that same point as far as local links, what if there's a large organization locally that's in the same sphere? So there's Emory Hospital, right? If you were to get a link back from Emory Hospital, which isn't, it's not a directory, but it's another, huge. They're in the same space. And that would be different than, if the Atlanta Braves linked back to him, because there's not really a
I think they'd both be huge, to be honest.
Do you?
Okay. I do. I think so. It's so weird. So relevancy can be geographic or subjective. So like the relevancy could be health. So if I'm trying to rank for dialysis, I don't care if I get a link from the Europe National Dialysis organization of Europe, whatever. That I guarantee you doesn't exist actually. So that's in Europe. It's not even in the freaking United States, but that would give authority. A link from them would give authority to him in the dialysis subject matter. But then I don't care if you get like Atlanta Boys and Girls Club, has nothing to do with dialysis, but now you're pushing the Atlanta narrative. So all of that is considered in the algorithm. There are thousands and thousands of factors in Google's algorithm that come into play. And it's what we did, to be honest with you, to rank for Lancaster SEO. And I could go, and I'll do it, by the way, as a test. We can pick out some crazy, like, low population city in, like, Alabama. I will have our site ranking for that city name, SEO company, or anything else you want, by going through this process. We already have the digital marketing SEO links, all that stuff. All I need to do is get some Alabama,
Bessemer, Alabama.
Yes, exactly. So I could get some links from some of those people to a specific page that focused on that city.
Bessemer hardware shop. Or
yes.
Now, what part?
You combine the two, and it will rank. It will.
What part does domain ranking play in that?
A huge part.
We've got to look for the higher domain rankings, right?
Yeah.
So like not just anybody.
I'm going to call it, and you're right, Manny, on domain rank, but domain authority is a publicly available thing on Ahrefs. So domain rank is a Google thing. DA, I don't, it's so confusing, but DA, domain authority, is the same essential thing. Ahrefs does a great job of making sure that they're ranking URL specific pages, but also domains in general. We were talking about True Earth earlier, Kyle. And True Earth came to us, and the owner of that company understands SEO. He's been in it as long as I have, like in the 90s, literally trying to figure out in 1999 how to make a page rank in it wasn't even Google then, it was like Alta Vista or
white text, white background, white text, white background.
Yes, and that's what it was. But the link building strategy then was like build blog comments, right? So all this crazy stuff. But anyway, this guy knows what he's talking about. And when he hired us, he goes, I'm going to throw something unique at you guys. This is years ago. He's like, I don't care about anything except domain authority, domain rank. Same measurement. I want a domain authority above 60. So this is years ago. I think at the time he had a domain authority of like 4.
Yeah, he just built the site.
Yeah, he had. It was fresh and new. Now he's in all these retail locations. It's crazy how much, and he sells like organic dryer wool balls and laundry strips and all this stuff that doesn't harm the environment, that makes your clothes nice.
I bet that was a fun challenge.
with a DR of 62.
Yeah, is it 62 today?
Awesome.
I think so, yeah.
That's awesome.
Well,
That's
and
awesome.
I don't know if we're ready to go there yet. Feel free to back me down if we're not, Kyle. Can we check out what his current DR is on Ahrefs?
I mean, yeah,
That's super fun.
it is. It's always just having your...
I'll need you to share your screen then if you wouldn't mind.
Most people, by the way, that are like focused on their business, it's not good when you look at the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But once you have a high domain rank, you can then rank for almost anything you want by publishing a blog post.
0.6.
That's a rough one.
Now let's take a look at some of the other ones. So here's a... Now let's look across this entire board. So a domain rating of 0.6. There are 6 backlinks, meaning across the internet, there are 6 places where any site around the internet links back to his site. And that happens on 4 different domains, which means that some of these domains have multiple, links to his site. He ranks organically for 30 keywords, which we'll look at in just a second. He gets 3 visitors to his through his site a month for people who are, looking for whatever it is that they're looking for. So let's look at the keywords that he ranks for. He ranks for his own name personally, Atlanta kidney and hypertension.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Dr. Kidney Specialist, Atlanta Kidney Specialist. He ranks for his address, Peach State Nephrology, Atlanta, Georgia. So some of these are not bad, but then if we look at the position that he's in, so let's say Atlanta Kidney and Hypertension, that gets 60 searches a month. He's in position 23, which means that he's at the top of page 3 of Google. Manny, when's the last time you were on page 3 of Google?
I can't remember the last time I scrolled half of the way down page 1. So
It is page 3 is a dusty place. Not a lot gets moved around, right? So if you're not in position 1 through 10, you're probably not getting a lot of traffic, which is why he's getting traffic for his name, so he's not getting a lot of traffic for people who are looking for anything other than him specifically. So let's take a look now. If I go and start looking for this dialysis spa company, DR of 7, which is really not that great either, but they rank for 300 keywords, and they were moving in a pretty good. Okay, so lately they're moving in a fairly good direction, albeit fairly slowly. They rank for almost 300 keywords. Most of them are their names. Now, by the way, if you guys want to dig into this, which I don't necessarily recommend that you do, but what we can do is I can exclude what are called branded keywords. So I can put in their name, change that to keywords, and apply it. So now it will only have search results that don't include that word. So luxury dialysis, that's interesting. Dialysis Houston, dialysis spa, luxury dialysis centers. This luxury line of search is interesting to me.
Mm-hmm. With a volume at 50, yeah.
Well, who is that? So that's interesting.
That's the question. That's the question.
Yeah. So the person typing in, if someone is sitting at their home computer and they're typing the phrase luxury dialysis, I ask you, Manny, what do you think? Give me a profile of who you think they are. And you're allowed to be stereotypical in marketing, by the way.
Okay. Household income above $700K a year. Very not nose in the air.
What kind of car do they drive?
Either a Range Rover or a really nice Audi.
That's hilarious.
They drive a Mercedes, actubut
A G-Wagon?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. But anyway, but here's the point. Here's the point. Listen. This is so important. So if you can kind of profile that person and you can say what you just said, even take the income out of it. Mm-hmm. So that's high, by the way. That's ultra high. Which I believe that group is typing that in.
Yeah.
Is typing that in. So
you could take that all the way down to 3.
You could, easy. So, but anyway, that's not my point. So, but you go with like people that belong. So Mercedes, which I don't own, to be clear. I'd like to have a G-Wagon, but Mercedes AMG is their luxury line. Okay, Audi RS is their luxury line. BMW M is their luxury line, right? So cars are one of the biggest, in my opinion, identifiers of like separation. So you could literally take, and I'm not being an asshole stereotypical person here. It is what it is. In general, you could take truck owners, for example, and you have a truck, right, Kyle?
I do.
Yeah. So, and you don't need to share what kind you have, but like I'm assuming even within the
This would be a fun thought.
like
exercise.
King Ranch.
Uh-huh.
So that's a luxury truck, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So King Ranch, and then you've got just the general like F100,
F-150. Yeah.
F-150. Okay.
They have like an STX trim package.
Okay. But anyone with a King Ranch,
Yeah.
if they have a King Ranch, they probably have a bit more available revenue, available money
Income, yeah.
for income, whatever. Okay. So you take a group. Here's what you do. Show me show my ad to anyone who typed in dialysis, but also has shown interest in King Ranch, AMG, RS, BMW M series. And you can do that. You can specifically target it to those car groups. Lexus, I don't know enough about Lexus to know what their luxury. Lexus would be. See, here's the other thing. You think of Mercedes as a luxury. I think it's Mercedes. Audi doesn't even enter the conversation, in my opinion. But like Mercedes, BMW, Lexus, for whatever reason, I feel they get the like top, echelon, right? The Audi crew tends to be high end, but into tech.
Yeah, kind of off to the
They
side.
get
a little
linked.
bit,
They
for
get
sure.
linked with Apple people and all that. Okay, so let's just say Mercedes AMG. Like Mercedes is one thing. Mercedes AMG is a whole other thing.
Yeah.
A Land Rover Discovery is completely different than a Range Rover. It's a whole different thing. A Mercedes, like I've been looking at G-Wagons for years. I can't afford one. And I do pretty well. I can't afford I want a G-Wagon in the worst way. So a G-Wagon's a $200,000 buy. Like that's an expensive car, right? And then you get into the Ferrari, Lamborghini, blah, 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 blah. But my point is you can link any search phrase like dialysis up with these high-end things and say, only show my ad. And you're talking to the people that are typing in luxury dialysis.
Can we do something similar with like location targeting? Like we just did one the last time we did it on a moving company. Can we do the same thing with the household?
Oh my gosh, yeah,
and target
absolutely
them that way. So can we take a look at that really quick? Would you go on for that? Zillow? Did you go Zillow for that?
I love going on Zillow. So let's just say this. So in Zillow, you can look for an area and find houses that have sold for a certain dollar amount. And then you can take that same map in Google Ads and literally circle the areas in Google Ads that were previously in Zillow, that you saw in Zillow. You can put them up side by side and actually create a geofence for an ad campaign. It would be hard right now to pull that up. It would take me 5 minutes to get to it.
Yeah.
But no, so you go to Zillow and you do a search for sold homes.
I'll show it to you.
Do that. Love it.
It's dramatic in Atlanta. Okay, so this is in Atlanta.
Oh, dude, this is awesome. This is awesome.
So these are all the homes that have sold in Atlanta recently, as listed by Zillow. Okay, let's say our minimum price for a sold home is $1 million. Watch what happens. Watch this map.
Whoa.
There's our neighborhood.
How
There
close?
they are.
How close is Dr. Gyebi to this?
He's right in there.
He's in the middle.
Perfect.
He's about right here.
So that's a great point, though. So like you can geofence the top right corner of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is-
Like ignore the other
Yeah, we're not down here. We're not doing any of
That's
this.
amazing.
But if
This
you
is-
just say I want to, if you just say I want to target Atlanta,
Nope.
you end up targeting the whole thing, and that's and the map that you see in Google Ads and in Facebook looks exactly like this, and you literally just create a geofence around these areas. And
So walk me through this. We're going to geo-target that area of Atlanta with paid ads to find what keywords are going to convert the best and just make content rich with those specific keywords. And we're going to put that content within the website to help drive organic traffic. So eventually, we're not going to need to do paid. He's going to be able to make a ton or generate a ton of traffic through organic alone.
100%.
Let's be the only I'll say 97%, because he's not going to be able to just generate a ton of traffic, because I don't know that he necessarily needs to generate a ton of traffic. He's going to be able to generate exactly the right
traffic.
Yes. Very good point. So is there anything else from the website standpoint on the homepage? Can we look at like the CTA? Like what I know it takes testing, but what do we feel like is going to convert the best here for his business?
So let's kind of stay along the path of the person that is kind of that Range Rover driving, North Atlanta living, home is $1 million plus, luxury dialysis searcher.
Sure.
If I am that person, the thing that probably speaks to me is, some sort of like concierge tour of our facility. Like if they're going to have to be there every day, then let's walk them through. Let's introduce them to the staff. Let's give them a glass of champagne. I don't know if you can give somebody who's on dialysis champagne, but like this, that's what I'm saying is like, let's give them sort of the red carpet treatment. And we'll do that for free, but we want you to become familiar here. And we want you to see how we've got the TVs mounted on the walls and the massage chairs and the charging stations for your whatever, like you have to show them that like, this is it, because again, you're not looking for the person that's searching for which dialysis will my insurance cover, or cheapest dialysis service around, or like we are looking for the person who's going to spend a little bit extra. They're not worried about how much it costs. They're going to put their Amex down when they come in for the very first time, and they don't ever want you to talk to them about money again. They just want you to charge it to them. Like you've got to kind of roll out the red carpet for those people. So I always reverse engineer from the who to the what's the offer.
Yeah, I love that. If my wife is going through something like that, like I want her as comfortable as possible, because she's going to be crying at home, stressed out. I can picture it actually, and I want her to have the best possible experience, that she could have. And that's what Kyle's describing.
It would be super off-putting for that person. Now, again, going back to the who, like if you've got the person who's searching like which level of dialysis or like how much dialysis will my insurance cover, if you were to offer that person one free dialysis treatment, that's a whole different offer. Whereas for this person, if you're offering the Range Rover person one free dialysis treatment, they go, why? Like
I want the tour. I want the tour. I want the free tour. I don't want the free appointment.
And you're talking in-person tour, not.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I want you to come in. We're gonna have a robe with you. I honestly have no idea what the process of dialysis is like. We're gonna have a robe with your name embroidered on it. We're gonna have a pair of slippers. This is your station. Here's where you'll come in. If you need to bring in.
I want the same station every single time I go in. I don't want. Like, don't put me in a different room every time. Like, all that. It's like, you
never have to wait when you walk in. We don't have a lobby, a waiting room where you're sitting around, waiting for us to call you back. You just walk right in. Our staff is dressed in, they're all wearing matching scrubs. Everybody's got their name embroidered on their scrub. Everybody smells great. Everybody's put together. Everybody's wearing makeup. Everybody's doing the thing, and they set you up. Like that's the experience that they're looking for.
Yeah, 100%.
And it sounds like, I mean, there's not a whole lot of PPC going on in that area right now, especially for dialysis patients. So it seems like a very easy area that they can kind of wrap their hands around and take by the neck.
Well, I would say this. I would say that if you target that specific high dollar geography in the northeast part of Atlanta, and you advertise all of the phrases, you know, dialysis, whatever, there's a good shot that you're going to be hitting people that have that middle to upper income level that I think he wants. So just avoid the bottom left, you know, avoid the southwest part of Atlanta for this specific need. And then on top of that, you can still advertise all of Atlanta, but only advertise in all of Atlanta the luxury words. So there's two separate campaigns completely. One is ignoring the luxury stuff, but only focusing on the Northeast. The other one is just dialysis. The word literally dialysis, and then you hit. You know, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. You advertise the word dialysis just in that Northeast portion.
Okay.
But because the luxury part's built in,
right? Because you're already hitting that group of people that have the higher dollar mostly. But then you advertise all of Atlanta with the luxury, the no wait dialysis, the custom dialysis, the whatever, you know, does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that hits it home.
Awesome.
And then you have an experience when they hit the site that makes them feel good, like the one that Kyle pulled up with the people. I still remember the people at the dinner table, dude. Like, that's my life, right? So that's what I want for my wife if she's going through that.
Yeah,
And
you want her to still be able to sit outside and hang out with her friends, and you know, it looks like they've got glasses of wine on the table, and they're you know what I mean, they're living their lives.
Yeah. Right. That's the point. You're still living your life, even though you're having to deal with it, I think. But who knows?
Well, that was awesome.
This is a great one.
Yeah, that was a really, really good start to this potential campaign. And we're just touching the surface here. So I really love that.
I do want to hold on before we go.
Sure.
We go, I think it's really important to reiterate something that is sort of a core belief for our organization, which is that like the business growth strategies, the business growth initiatives don't start or don't stop once the person has become a patient, right? Part of what you are doing is, if Dave's wife or Dave or my wife or whoever had to go in for a service like this, part of the business growth strategy is to deliver service at such a high level and remove the friction for Dave's wife when she's sitting at the country club or wherever she is around people who are similarly well-heeled, to be able to say, oh my God, I've been going to Peachtree Kidney and it is the best experience. I would recommend you go, even if you don't need dialysis. You know, like that's the experience that you're trying to create. We did this, or I heard this thought exercise the other day, and I sent it to Dave, that was so interesting, from a guy that we both respect the crap out of, named Alex Hormozy. And he basically said, okay, if your business got reduced tomorrow to one client, one customer, and you had to deliver a service to that client, and you put the entire burden of growing your business back on that client spreading the word about your business, what kind of service would you have to deliver to that client in order to get them to spread the word that effectively?
And it's crazy when you go through that exercise in your head.
That's good. Well, thank you, gentlemen. I really appreciate it. Kyle, Dave, your expertise came through in the clutch once again. So I appreciate you guys. If you're a business owner, CEO, or CMO, and you want us to go through your website or your digital online business as a whole, let us know. Contact us at hello@conklinmedia.com, excuse me, or businessgrowthstrategies.com, and we'll hook you up. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Awesome. Peace out.